Today, on this episode of Monk MT, we're talking about the influence of your social circle and the people that you hang out with and how that influences your mind and the lust inside you. Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about just hanging out with guys who are horny, who talk about girls, who even cut jokes? How that influences you, how that incites lust in you. If you're hanging out with a bunch of porn watchers, not to be derogatory or hateful on them, but let's be real, a lot of guys watch porn, so let's just call them porn watchers. Their mind is constantly thinking about that. I can say, because I remember being like that. Once you're in that cycle, that routine, let's be real, you got a routine. You know how many times a day or a week you like to do it. Your mind is constantly thinking about it. You're waiting for your next hit. Naturally, you're gonna feel that energy. Naturally, when you're with them, they might mention that. Their attitude is gonna be towards that. And naturally, when you're out meeting people, their energy is gonna flow in that direction. So let alone if you have a group of guys who literally talk about their sexual escapades, or they literally always, how about this one? Look at that girl's butt. Ooh, look at that, comment, raunchy comment. It's like high school again. Yeah, it's like high school again. These guys are acting like they're 16. That's their conversation level. Talking about body parts. Cool, real cool. You got 20, 30, 40-year-olds like that, where they literally treat females like pieces of meat, body parts. Hey, I'm not hating. I'm just saying how it is. If you want to be free, you gotta understand, and we gotta be honest. It's shallow. That's not a judgment. It's just saying, literally, that's not a high level of human development. You realize you're talking like an 11-year-old who just hit puberty, who's see a little butt, see a girl in a skirt. A lot of people are still at that level, okay? So you gotta be careful when you're hanging out with those hornballs. Those hornballs. Not to hang out with them. How about that? Yeah, I said it. Get new friends. Get friends who you respect. Get friends whose habits you want. If you're hanging out with people who have habits that you don't want, you're kidding yourself. If you think that that's not holding you down. Of course it's holding you down. You gotta cut that out. The effect of your environment, your social circle. And we can even just talk about where you go, the people where you go. Let's say you're going to all these clubs. If you still have a club routine, you're gonna have to be so careful. If you're new to this, you might even want to just not go for a while because you're not strong enough to resist that lust temptation from getting stimulated. And all of a sudden, you're gonna be having promiscuous sex that's low energy, that's taking away your time and your life energy that you're not proud of, that you secretly have this guilt about, but you act like it makes you cool. You're still in that teenage mode where you think it's so cool. So be careful that you're not in that routine if you want to be a man, if you want to ascend. Hey, if you're tricking yourself that you're cool staying there, check out. Goodbye. Channel's not for you. If you want to transcend, if you want to ascend, if you want to tap into new potentials and explore what it is to be a truly developed man, heed my words. Because these are not my words. These are words of all the great saints, of all the great men who have came before me and you. And you have to understand their wisdom and not put your nose in the air being a 2-year-old thinking that you're smarter than the ancient sages. Think about it. Just think about it. I trust that if you're still here listening, You're actually smart. So, I'm not talking to you necessarily, but I'm passionate about this because for the longest time, I screwed myself over by having pride and thinking that I was smarter than all the traditional, conventional, conservative wisdom. And I'm not saying that the way that they hold that wisdom is correct, but a lot of their principles have a lot of wisdom, which is why it's still around. Now, let's not get political, because now all of a sudden you're probably getting triggered. Are you saying that you're a conservative? Okay, let's not even go there. I'm just saying, a lot of the religions in the world have a lot of practical wisdom that helps you live a better life if you can understand it. The thing is, you gotta meditate on it and make it your own. I'm not saying be a dogmatic, conventional religionist. Not at all. I'm saying meditate and understand the concepts and experiment for yourself. Find out. So, first thing, remember, audit your friends and all the people that you hang out with, even if it's coworkers. Stop talking to the people who are always talking lustfully, who have that side of them. And you can just be straight up honest. You don't have to avoid and be awkward about it. You can straight up just say, look, I have a personal goal to not watch porn. And in order to do that, I don't want to even think about lustful things. So if you can not talk about lustful things, I'm just going to have to not be around you. Or I'm just going to have to go somewhere else. Get it? Got it? Good. So, social circle, co-workers, family, friends, and then the places that you go. So, acquaintances or environments, audit. If you're going to the strip club, if you're going to a beach with a lot of college girls, you know if you're at a level where you're strong enough to resist the temptation, or if that's going to stimulate your lust and you're going to be home beating your meat because you stimulated your lust and you overestimated yourself and your level of progression and mastery, and you underestimated the enemy. And this always happens. This always happens. You think that you're level 50, you're really level 5, and you put yourself in the level 10 environment, thinking that you're much more advanced than you really are. Be careful about doing this. Trust me. You'll be tempted to hang out with certain girls who maybe you've slept with before. What's that gonna do to your lust? Look, you wanna have control over your sexuality. You have to commit the time to separating yourself and honing your purity. What are you honing? Are you honing your lust, or are you honing your purity? How else do you hone your purity? Be around pure people. That will give you purity. It'll change your mind and your subconscious and your heart and your desires. You'll be inspired. Their holy thoughts and their holy heart and how they see people in the world. And you'll imbibe that in yourself. That's one way. That's one powerful way. In yoga, we call that satsang. Association with the wise. Next video, we're going to talk about yoga and Kriya Yoga. And the amazingly abundant power it has to transform your subconscious in a way that you never thought possible. This is my story. This is my word. This is my testimony that I'm a different person than I was 4 years ago when I started doing Kriya Yoga. and devotion in your heart to becoming pure and your own master. If purity doesn't resonate with you, becoming the master of your destiny and your life and your hormones and your feelings and your thoughts and your body, or you're the slave. You decide. Monk MT, signing out.